As of tomorrow, not illegal, because that was a Nerf dart. As of tomorrow, illegal, because that was a gel ball. Just wanted to do that one more time before I can't anymore. Hey guys, as many of you have probably heard, there's been some major changes to gel blasters in South Australia today.
I'm here to tell you about the changes to how gel blasters are classified. As of tomorrow, they are a declared regulated imitation firearm.
My goal with this video is to cover those changes and share all the information that I've gathered in one place. So, SAPOL have announced that gel blasters are regulated imitation firearms, and that comes into effect as of tomorrow, with a 6-month amnesty period. So what does that mean for us? Well, you have a choice to make. Do you want to keep your gel blasters, or do you plan to buy some more in the future? Well, you're going to have to get a firearms license. If you don't want to get a firearms license, you have 6 months to hand your gel blasters into a police station, concealed inside of a bag that no one can see into, batteries removed, fill out a firearms gel blaster surrender notice, and carry on with your life without gel ball. An alternative way to get rid of them is that you can still sell them online in sites like eBay to other states, where in Queensland you're allowed to legally own one as a toy, or Western Australia you're allowed to own them. So you can sell it to those states, and you'll just, within those 6 months, you'll just post it out to those. But if you want to keep your gel blasters, what else do you have to do? If you don't already have a firearms license, you'll need to fill out a firearms license application form, and that's called a PD 303. A gel blaster is a Category A firearm now, under the Section 4 paintball markers. You'll need to bring 100 points of ID with you, as well as pay a licensing fee, which I think is about $101. Once you hear back from Firearms Branch with an approval letter, you will then need to attend the required training courses outlined in the letter, and your trainer will send the results of the training to the Firearms Branch. You'll then have to wait to get your data card, which you then take to a photo point like Service SA or Australia Post, and they'll take your photographic license and you'll get that in the post. They'll also issue you with a temporary license, which is the sheet of paper you can keep in the meantime. If you already have a firearms license like I do, just make sure that you have the Category A and the Section 4 for paintball markers. I did not have the Section 4, so I had to get a variation made to my license, which cost me $60. So now that you have your firearms license, what else do you have to do? For starters, every gel blaster you own will need to be registered. For new purchases after tomorrow, this will be done through a registered firearms dealer. But the blasters you currently already own will need to be registered slightly differently and done within that 6-month amnesty period. First, you'll need to complete a permit to acquire, which is a PD 306 form, and you'll need to do that for each gel blaster that you currently own. You need to select the purpose as being for paintball shooting. You need to mark the section called Person Transferring Possession with just the words Gel Blaster 2020, because it's not transferring from someone, it's something you already have. So there's a special one just for this 6-month amnesty period. You then submit your application by post or at a police station, and once you hear back from your application, they'll give you a serial number. This serial number needs to be engraved on your gel blaster within the next 14 days. Now, I asked Firearms Branch for some clarification on the serial number process, and they said you need to engrave the serial number on the outside of the blaster, preferably on the receiver, somewhere visible. So maybe on the side of the magwell, or if it's got an actual fake serial number, you could put it like there, I guess. But they did specify some regulations on the particular engraving. The engraving must be at least 2 millimeters in height of the letters and at least 0.5 millimeters in depth. They also recommended that I could just get an engraver to do this for me. It doesn't really have to be through a gunsmith, by the sounds. Now, still within the 14 days of receiving your serial number, once you've got the engraving done, you can then take it into a police station. And of course, make sure it's inside a concealed bag so you don't freak people out. Show them that the Gel Blaster is now serialized, as well as show them the PD306. You'll also have to pay a registration fee, which I'm not sure on the exact amount of that. But once you've done all that, SAPOL's Firearms branch will send you out a certificate to say that your Gel Blaster is registered. So now that you own a Gel Blaster legally, where can you go to use it? Well, that's where it's very strict now. You cannot fire the Gel Blaster anywhere else besides a registered paintball field. You can't fire it around the house. You can't even crony it to see if it's shooting under the FPS cap. You have to only ever fire it at a registered paintball field. You could live out in the middle of the outback, no one around for kilometers. You can use a real gun, can't use a Gel Blaster. That's how it is. So I recommend just search around for registered paintball fields, see if any of them have got gel ball games on as well, and then you'll be able to attend one of those. So how about when you're not using it? Are there any safe storage requirements? Definitely, it's considered a firearm now. There's very strict guidelines behind what you have to do for that. If the number of Gel Blasters you own is 19 or less, you can just keep them in a level 1 safe, which, if it's below 150 kilos empty, has to be secured with 2 anchor points to your house. If it's over 150 kilos, it's too heavy to really steal it and move, so those kind of safes are really expensive though. But for people who rent a house, that's pretty much your only option. If you own 20 or more Gel Blasters, you'll need a level 2 safe, you'll need CCTV or a security system. So what kind of impact is this obviously going to have on the sport of gel ball? Well, I've already unfortunately seen on Facebook and on Discord plenty of people selling up, moving on with their life and getting out of gel ball. For people who do go through all the licensing process and stick around, there's definitely going to be some empty fields out there. Not going to be as many people to play against, but that's just how it is. Also, people under the age of 18 cannot hold a firearms license, so they cannot own a Gel Blaster. They can hire a Gel Blaster at a field and use it for the day. They can't take one home and work on it. They can't build their own to use at the field. Additionally, gel ball was a budget sport. People of lower income probably won't be able to afford the storage fees of the safe, the registration each time you buy one, and obviously if the fields are going to be so regulated like paintball is now, it's going to be more expensive to go to a field and play. So it's not going to be as feasible for every person in every situation to be able to play gel ball now. So at this point, with so much regulation, why don't we just play airsoft now? Well, many of you might not actually know this, but airsoft is not illegal in SA. It's more that airsoft is stuck in a loop. No one can buy an airsoft gun because when you submit a permit to acquire a firearm, you need an excuse, you need a reason. And there are no airsoft fields because of how strictly regulated it is. And also, if you decided to make a field, go through all the regulation and expenses to set one up, there's no one to come play. No one has an airsoft gun. So hopefully someone could potentially break that loop and we could get an airsoft field and then wait it out and people could buy airsoft guns and then go to it. Another alternative that I'm sure people are screaming at in the comments is, why don't you just play Nerf? Nerf can be more powerful than Gel Blasters, can shoot further, more accurately. Check out some of my other videos, like the Caliburn 300 FPS one that's got like 150,000 views. That is a valid option. You can play that in public parks, you can play it anywhere you want. And in fact, there's going to be a lot of empty gel ball fields now, because as of tomorrow, they're not allowed to hold any events until they're a registered paintball field, which sadly most of them probably won't be able to get that paintball certification. So, maybe some of them could host Nerf wars. We'll have to see what they do. But if they do, those will be some awesome fields for Nerf, better than a public park. Finally, there's a few associations out there that are going to tackle this the legal way, and one of them called GBAA, or Gel Blaster Association of Australia, has started a fund me, I'll link it down below, to fund a class action lawsuit against PAINTBALL for gel blasters. But yeah, I'll leave a link to that down below if you want to check that out. Overall, it's still early days on the info. This could all change. They could make it less regulated. I don't see they could really make it more regulated from here though. But I hope I've cleared some things up in these uncertain times. As for me personally, I'm going to have to find somewhere else to do my reviews because I now cannot shoot a gel blaster unless it's at a paintball field. So perhaps I could do more of an overview of the blaster without shooting it and then go and play with it for the shooting part. Or alternatively, I could film the whole review at a paintball field. That's another option. Let me know your guys' thoughts on all of this and what kind of videos you'd like to see of the gel blasters going forward from me as well. That's all from me today. As always, thank you for watching. As of tomorrow, not illegal because that was a Nerf dart. As of tomorrow, illegal because that was a gel ball. Just wanted to do that one more time before I can't anymore.